we're on.
Good morning, craps players. We're gonna do something a little different for you today. We're gonna show our throws and demonstrate dice control today. So we're gonna be moving the camera around, trying to get better views. There's not a lot of different views out there. So bear with us when we're moving, and hopefully we won't get too shaky. I'm going to be throwing the 10 set, 5s on top, 6-4 facing down the table. Do my 3 fingers on top and my thumb all the way to the bottom. I'm going to roll my dice back so they're on the corners, because when I throw, I'm going to do a forward roll. It's going to be very light. And we're going to start out with a 7. That's a 4-3.
I like how the way the bone thrower counts his 7 out ratio. It's out ratio, just not any 7.
We'll just mark those as 7s. Nina, that's a 6-3.
Looks good.
Aces. That's an easy 4. Now remember, your throw needs to be comfortable. So whatever dice set you choose, that's gonna dictate, be dictated by the table. But your throw, this is comfortable for me in this position. You would think I'd want to be straight, but that stresses my arm. And then when I throw, it's a nice, easy motion for me that just flows. That's a hard 10.
It's really helpful when you practice a throw, if you've got another guy with you. You can kind of give each other tips, pointers. They can really watch your throw.
Hard 6. Now I just want a really light toss, and I still want them to roll down the table. I don't want them to bounce. Easy 6. And I've got a pretty firm grip on the dice. 8, easy 8.
Would it be safe to say that your fingernails are white when you grab those?
They're what?
White when you grab those. That's how hard you're grabbing them.
No, I don't grab them that hard. It's just enough so that when I get a hold of them, they're not gonna pull apart. Aces. And I'm just barely rolling into the back wall there. Seven.
7 out. Now we'll move around to the...
So I got 8 hits there.
We'll move around up to the side so we can get a view of his actual throw. Out here.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm just rolling these back, and when I throw, my thumb's just pushing the die forward just a little bit. Aces again. The other day my aces were coming like this, and that's all I played. I went across, just single units, and I had a $5 horn on aces, and it was a $250 day. Hard 12. If it could come any other way.
I was gonna say, how do you get the other 12? Because I'll nail that one. You throw 3 dice. That's how you get the other 12.
Four. Easy 4. Hard 8. Another quick reminder when you're throwing your chips to put a twist on them for the dealers. 6.
I like to flip them at the dealers like they're coins off my thumb. Because I'm cool like that. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I don't ever throw them my chips. They always hand me chips no matter what. Whether I'm betting or not.
5.
You'll find out the truth as soon as I walk up there.
Seven. I shorted that one. But if you're getting 7s on a bad throw, that's much better than getting 7s on a good throw.
Yes.
Now we'll see what Graybeard's got for us here.
I'll throw the 10 set as well. Mine's 5s on top, 6-4 facing. My 6 is always, whether I'm throwing right hand or left hand, my 6 is always facing the other side of the table. That's 4.
Easy 4. Now it's a little harder to get his whole throw in because he's got this backswing thing he does.
Yeah, I come back about, I don't know, about a foot, and I come forward and I try to release about, I don't know, a couple inches higher than the chip rail. That one slipped a little bit, the 5, 3-2. And my grip is a lot different. I mean, I still use the 3 finger grip, but I grab them so lightly that my biggest problem is dropping the dice. Kind of like that one right there. That one right there.
Now talk about your release a little bit.
My release, I'm not opening my fingers. I'm trying to hold them light enough for when they come out, they're basically coming out on their own. They're just falling out of my fingers somewhere right in here. And when I do that, I'm trying to hit about the pass line, 6 inches from the wall. Anywhere in there is where I'm really aiming. That was a little high. That was a 7 out. For me, when I'm throwing, I really have to focus, or else I will drop the dice.
Because it's such a light touch.
Yeah, it's really light. 5.
And the way you throw your arm is really important because for Graybeards to work, he wants his dice to go relatively straight to the table and back. If he has one die, well, if they both curve to the left a little bit or they both curve to the right a lot, he's in trouble.
Yeah.
So keeping that...
I try to, when I get up to here, if I get my arm straight, that's a bad throw. I can feel it in my elbow, and it feels like it's hyperextending, which I have done, oddly enough.
We'll get his target spot here. He's shooting right about where the pass line is.
Yeah.
We'll come on down and get another shot.
Hopefully I can string these together. The focusing for me is probably the biggest part of my throw.
So you can see they're pretty well straight, and that's a hard 10.
That would be point number 1. The 9. Old stick man here, he could probably tell you more about my throw than I do. Just like I can almost guess his numbers.
That's usually how it goes, because we're watching each other so closely.
8. That's an easy 8.
Let's get his target spot here.
That's a 7.
That wasn't his target spot either.
I'm averaging about 4 right now. Front line winner. I could probably get this. He doesn't like me to touch his stick.
It's true. I'm a little possessive about that. That was a good target shot there. His last ones were back a little too far.
I feel like I'm a little back farther on the table than I like to be, but you don't always get your pick at the casino. That's kind of where I want to be right there.
Good target. And that 1-2 shows up a lot. We'll do one shot from the back here and see how that looks. kind of see his release a little more there. How it's a nice fluid motion.
Is that in the way?
Nope.
Hard 4. Point.
And he's just grabbing the top corners of those die. I know it looks like he's got the whole thing. He just has a very large thumb.
Very. That's what she said. I don't know if I can get closer to see how little of the dice I actually have grabbed.
Just barely touching those corners.
That was a little high. Called that one. Do a couple more here and go back to you, or
Yeah.
that's about where I like to be. That would be my perfect throw. Seems like it's been kind of a rough morning though so far. Which happens. Which happens. Easy 10. I lost track where I'm at. I know I 7'd out. That's 2.
And you can really see there how they just come out of his fingers by themselves there. That was a good example. You really want to keep your form just identical. But you need to stay relaxed. You need to take a breath and relax your body.
Step away from the table. I know some people get hung up on their foot position exactly the same every throw. I dropped that one.
It's more about being comfortable and relaxed than it is about keeping your feet in the same spot and your hand in the same spot. Because once, if you're leaning hard on that table, now you're thinking about your hand falling asleep instead of your throw. And that just plays a big part into
Easy 8. I think we're at 5 now. Seven out.
And dice control is not about, throwing 30 throws in a row. It's about knowing your throw and knowing what you're capable of. If you need to throw, if you're at the table and you just need to throw, then you just do your minimum pass line bet. You throw 3 or 4 times. If it feels really good, now you just put $100 on the 9 and 6, or whichever 2 numbers that show up the most for you. Easy 6. So the 6 and 9 are my numbers on this throw. If I'm going to bet a hard way, it's going to be an 8 or a 10.
I think the biggest thing for me about how we set our dice and how we throw, for one, you're super comfortable with what's going on.
Hard 8.
And it's not that we're going to throw 30 times. We have, but that doesn't happen often for anybody. For anybody throwing 30 times consecutively all the time. It's about knowing how far we can go with this throw. Get the most bang for your buck.
Easy 6. So that's point number 1. And they were both a 5-1. And that's where the dice control comes in too, because now you're targeting your numbers. So I'm targeting the 6 and 9. That 7 is still going to show up, but hopefully it's going to show up in between your points. Like that. So that's a frontline winner.
You're
4-3 and the 5-2 is very dangerous for me on this throw. Just because I can get that single hop on one die. And my die like to roll over one time about every 4th roll.
the advantage for us is not
So there's that 9.
not that we can roll 30 rolls. The advantage to us is we know when to stop betting. Like today, if we were at the table playing a real game, I'm gonna go 4 hits and off every time,
Easy 10.
just because that's what was happening. And I know if it starts out that way, it's probably gonna end that way.
And I have a really hard time coming down because I like to play the long game. Easy 10. It's at 6-4 again. I like to play a hot bet, chasing my number. So, I'm not afraid to chase a 6-4 or a hard 8. My next 2 or 3 rolls. Easy 8.
I will play my come out every time because I'm not afraid of the 7 showing up in my first roll. I'm more afraid of my 7 showing up on my 5th roll. So I'll roll 3 times of pressing, and then on my 4th roll I'll cut it
That
down.
one come out bad. And that's a 5-2. One die left a little sooner than the other. I threw a little high and I pushed too hard with my thumb. And I knew when it was in the air it was a bad throw. But we had 2 6s, 2 8s, and 2 10s. One was the point. One was the point. I had 2 points.
Yep, 2 points.
2 lit. But I like to go 3 and down and then press. So if I can do quarters across for 3 hits, and then I go back down to single units, and then I'll press my way up to quarters and just collect at that point. So I get my $50 win after 3 hits. And then I'll press up, and it's a frontline winner.
3-4.
3-4. You're not going to see the 6-1 show up very often here.
Unless I'm throwing.
That was a bad throw.
6-1.
Well, on a bad throw, anything can show up. That one was good. It's a 12.
Yeah, I would say the biggest advantage is you know how far you can go.
That was good. Easy 10. It's at 6-4.
But if you've watched our other videos too, you've seen we've had those long rolls, but where you make your money is in knowing you have at least 4 rolls.
5-1 again. throw. No, drifted. It's a 7 out for me. I think I leaned my body there on that one.
I want to show them how you're gripping this. Don't mind the shaking.
So I get that, I bite on top, and then I slide my thumb down so I'm touching the felt pretty hard. And then I'll roll it back. But it has to keep those die together. It's a 3. This is a really great horn strategy throw for me. So I'll just go single units across and I'll do a horn high like I said earlier. I mean, I'm going to hit that thing a couple times. There's a little to the left. Still come out 7. For me, I've got my curve. I got a curved throw, and I don't like the idea of that, but it's comfortable, so I'm trying to just get my target right. Easy 8, felt good. And make sure you do everything you can to keep superstition out of your head, because it's about your focus. It felt good. 4-1. That's point.
And you can't know how to do it right until you've done it wrong. And you'll know when it's wrong.
Six, 3.
Well, buddy.
Okay, well, hope this was helpful for everyone. Well, let us know what you liked and didn't like about this video, and we'll try to make the next one better for you. But we sure appreciate you guys. Like and subscribe. We'll have some better videos here for you soon.
All right, thank you guys.